Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us once again on another episode of the God of Knicks podcast. I'm your host, Apollo Reed. I'm here today with the Cuzzo, Rick the Ruler. How you doing, man? How's everything?
I'm good, man.
Pretty good, pretty good. Watching that win just now.
Yeah,
So,
can't complain.
yeah. Can't you can't? Not really. It was. I mean, you can. You come on.
Oh yeah, there's a few things,
New York. It's New
but
York,
we
man.
got the win. So once it's in
We
the
got the
stat
win.
books, man, it doesn't make a difference.
Right, right. So the Knicks beat the Pistons. Almost at the Pacers. We already did that. Knicks beat the Pistons 108 to 100. And it looked a lot better. It was a tale of two halves. It looked a lot better in the second half than it did in the first. Um, there was a lot of there was a my bad. There was a lot going on in the first half. I think I attributed it to I would say the lack of defensive intensity on the you know
Yeah,
on the inside. It was pretty bad. It was pretty bad. It was to the point where Tom Thibodeau didn't even play Jericho Sims at all.
yeah,
Going down
yeah. To
going down
sit
the
him,
line.
he,
Yeah, to
he,
sit him.
he
Go ahead, go no, go.
No, I was gonna say he. I mean, he's a rookie, so you expect so much from him, but he wasn't able to handle it, and the Pistons were taking advantage of him. So he needed to sit. They brought in the other Sims to kind of bring things back, and it seemed to work, but
Hmm.
not enough. So
Not enough.
they adjusted, and that's what you like to see a coach do: adjust and then get the win.
Right, right. And that was definitely something that I wasn't too worried, especially for the simple fact that they were already missing some of their key guys, but the league didn't get anything bigger than what, 7 or something like that. I think that they didn't go by anything more than 7 for the entire game. Like we kept bringing it
Right.
between 4 and 7 for like literally 2 quarters straight, and that was something that I was looking at it and I'm just like, okay, well, we're not getting blown out, we're not playing like great at all, but we're still in this game somehow. You know what I mean? And I always
Yeah.
look at that and I'm like, okay, all right, well, are the things that we're doing bad, are they correctable at this point? And they were. Most of it was just defensive, assignments and stuff like that. And the team came in and they knew, they're like, listen, Nerlens isn't there, Mitch isn't there, attack the basket. And there was just backdoor cuts and just all kinds of stuff going on in that first half that was just disgusting. What did you see
Oh
in the
yeah.
first half that ticked you off pretty bad?
With Jericho Sims, like it just seemed like he wasn't sure where he should be. He was showing up late on defensive attempts, and it was
Hmm.
just like, come on, man, you gotta get in there.
Yeah.
You have too much size to be running behind somebody. Like, get the blocks. I don't
Yeah.
think he got one block.
He had 0 blocks.
Yeah,
I think the only stat he had besides a foul was 3 rebounds, and
yeah. I don't
I
even
believe
think he scored.
that's total. That's wow. Yeah, I mean, I think it was, yeah, he was 0 for 3. Actually, let me do that here. Show you guys what I'm looking at because I don't want to be selfish. I want to be selfish. But so here, we can start from the top. RJ Barrett, you see, he played 34 minutes preseason game, but hey, it's time to those team. He's 3 for 11 for the field, which was, a concern. But one thing that didn't bother me, one thing that I like when I see players who are shooting poorly, is I want to see you do other things. You know what I mean? I want to see you still attack the basket. He shot 71% from the free throw line. He had 7 rebounds here,
Seven rebounds, six
7 rebounds,
assists,
six
man. That's
assists.
big.
That's what you do. The points, 12 points, not great, but when you're not scoring, when you're not putting the ball in the basket, and I think that's what separates him from guys like Knox and stuff like that, because they they have a tendency to disappear if their shot isn't falling. But that's what I always said about RJ that I appreciate, is that even though his shot isn't falling, he's never going to look like he's not in the game. And then that's why people notice what he does so bad, is because you notice him there all game long. He doesn't
Yeah,
just disappear. You know what I mean? His shot might not be falling, but there was a lot of plays. I mean, granted, he had 3 turnovers that were kind of sloppy, but there was just a lot in that game where I'm seeing passes that he hasn't done before. You know what I mean? That's just me. I haven't seen RJ make a lot of these passes. But what about you? What did you see with RJ today that you know you know good or bad?
Yeah, his vision looks like it has improved. Like you said,
Mhm.
his passing was a lot better tonight.
Right,
Um, I think it surprised even the opposing team because they weren't expecting that. They're like, nah, we didn't see any footage of him doing stuff like that before.
right. Hmm.
But it's like you said, like he wasn't able to really, score like you wanted him to.
Hmm.
He had that corner three early, but it didn't really seem to manifest itself in the second half. But he
Hmm.
was able to get in there and do other things. So he contributed still.
Yeah, right, right. Um, I also think Kemba Walker not being there was something that played a part into maybe the spacing a little bit of the shots that he was going to get because it's Derrick Rose instead of
Mhm.
Kemba on these shots in the starting lineup with him. I think that played a huge role into it because you know I don't think RJ did anything different today. You know what I'm saying? I think he typically went to the same spots. It's just that the coverage was a little bit different, mainly because they knew that they didn't have to blanket Rose as much as you would blanket Kemba in that same situation. And there wasn't a lot of minutes with RJ with quick. I mean, actually, quickly and RJ did play a good amount of minutes tonight together. But I think RJ just didn't. It just wasn't going. It wasn't going in for RJ tonight, and that was fine. Like I said, you still racking 7 rebounds and 6 assists, and a block. You know what I mean? You're still doing things, and you still only had two personal fouls, plus 12. Um, out there. Um, Next, Julius Randle. Congrats out to Julius.
Yeah,
I think he did just on his son Jace, I believe is his name is.
he joined our ranks with two boys.
Two boys, man. Oh man, whoo, that boys, that house is gonna be crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, wait, well, man. So yeah, man. Julius Randle tonight. He had 29 points, plus 19 out there on the plus minus. A lot of people don't like that stat. It's a stat. It's there. Um,
Yeah,
29 points, one steal. He had 5 assists and 11 rebounds. 11 rebounds. Pardon me, I don't have my glasses. I can't see.
yeah.
Um,
He got a quiet double double.
Quiet double double. Well, I wouldn't say it was quiet. He woke up there in that third
Well,
quarter.
yeah, that third quarter, yeah,
Yeah,
he
yeah,
exploded. He scored 8 in the first half and ended up with 29 points.
with
So that
29
that should
points.
show you how busy he got in that second half. So yeah.
Listen, man, there were some things I saw from Julius Randle out there. I'm like, he's looking like Lefty Mello out there the way he's walking into these threes. I'm like, man, like he's walking into them. It's not like, last year where he was like, yeah, I'm gonna take it, and it was like an off balance. Like he's walking into him with a defender right in front of him. You know what I mean? And it's
Yeah,
water. And I'm like, oh, this is the elevation that you're trying to get to this year. Because that's what I want. I was wondering, how can someone who won Most Improved Player, and not for nothing, a lot of people don't see how much better Julius Randle can get from what he did last year, and it's a good question.
it's true.
How can he get
Yeah,
better? Not that we don't believe it, but we want to see, what does that look like? How does Julius Randle getting better look like? Could you imagine if Julius Randle got better? Um, he's shown he can get better every single season. That's what he's done his entire career. So
yeah,
there's just things that I'm like looking. I'm like, is this the next level of Julius Randle where you're gonna get the all right? It's time to put the book bag on. Let me start hitting some threes, some pull up shots, because that's what it looked like. It looked like he was just like, all right, it's time to do something real quick. And it was a little personal.
yeah.
It's usually personal between him and Jerry and um Jeremy. Jeremy, I think it's Jeremy
One of
Green.
them.
Yes, Jeremy. One. Yeah, I think it was Jeremy. But yeah, man. What about you? What you see from Julius?
Oh man. He's doing. I wouldn't say anything new. Like he was doing what he was kind of doing last season, where he wants to get the team involved, and then once things are cooking, if they need him, then he'll start turning it up. And I think that's why he didn't score as much in the first half.
Right.
In the first quarter, it really didn't look like he was looking for a shot at all. It looked like he was just
No.
trying to pass the ball, get into
Yeah.
position, and just get the team warmed up. So um, I think that's what we're going to see a lot of from him this season because it looks
Yeah.
like that's where he wanted to be last season, and he scored 29 points. So he doesn't need to score all game in order to be effective. So
Right. And that's something that we saw in the first game. I believe he had 20 and 9. It was just quiet. Like,
yeah,
these are the kind of games that he's gonna have. He's not gonna be needed every single play as he was last year. And I think that's gonna be the difference. He's gonna be able to score a lot more efficiently. He won't have to uh be as fatigued, you know what I mean, as he was last year, because
right,
there was just so much that he had to do last year to make sure that we won. You know what I mean, and it was just bad. It was just bad to ultimately have someone where one person, he has to do all of the work. But
yeah,
he handled it well, and he came back, and he looks like he's a lot more poised. I'm just super impressed with the person Julius Randle is more than anything. I'm
yeah,
impressed with the game. Of course, he's the most improved, but just the person he is, and he just how hard he works. You know what I mean? It's rare to have a lot of players that of that caliber that work that hard. You know what I mean? So, you know, glad we got him. I'm
yeah.
glad we didn't trade him last year because it was I guarantee that almost happened. Um,
That's why you can't
uh,
listen to Knicks fans, man. They
can't listen to Nick
emotional.
fans. Can't listen to Nick fans. Next up, Taj Gibson, player of the game. I don't care what anybody says.
Oh my gosh, that's my
Player
guy.
of the game.
That's my
Um,
guy. How much he scored? 21 points.
21 points. Taj had 21 points and 9 rebounds. 21 and 9 rebounds, 2 assists, and he even threw a 3-pointer in there for us. He's gonna go 50% from the field from three.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
How many
So
how many attempts did he make?
it was just two
I
attempts.
think he took
Same,
at least two, right? Yeah.
yeah, same old Taj. One, I'm gonna give you one for two every game. I'm gonna give you one for two, and it was comfortable. It was a comfortable.
Yeah.
I think it was off a broken play, and he caught it. He just pulled up, and then he from
Yeah, he dialed the long distance.
dialed the long distance. I'm like, okay, Taj. And listen, it looks like a celebration he's prepared to do every single time that he puts the ball in there. So, what about you and Taj, man? Like, what did you like from what Taj did tonight?
I mean, what didn't you like? I mean, Taj is my guy, number one. I love
Yeah,
his intensity. The
Brooklyn.
only thing I didn't like that he did tonight was he got a little handsy he with the fouling, and
Mm,
sometimes I feel like because of his age and he gets tired that he kind of cheapens the play by fouling rather
mm,
than just getting back on defense hard. But I just don't think he physically can. But
right,
that's
right.
outside of that. Like I loved everything else he did. Like he played good defense. He took the shot when he had the shot,
Hmm.
and he didn't force anything. And
Right,
and it looked like he had fun out there, which I love to see. So
right.
that's my guy, Taj.
Yeah, man. And shout out to the chat if you're in the chat. Do me a favor, hit that like if you haven't already, which I'm sure a lot of you guys have. Um, let's see what these guys talk about in the chat here. Cause all right, so we have a fantasy league, ESPN fantasy league, which Tune cannot stand. But I happened to get Mello in there, so he won't stop asking me. That's the first thing he said in here. Is just give me Mello, and it's not happening. Unfortunately, we spoke about this. You know what I mean? I love you, cuz, but it's just
Why
you
not?
know,
Give him Melo, man.
nah. I don't think so. Like I said, man, I had to be loyal to my, that's my best friend, and then as the time as the what was it, the snake draft came slithered up to my door, it was my turn. And who was sitting there? I said, "Whoa, they really left this guy sitting here."
Yeah,
And what did I say in the
yeah,
chat? You saw what I said in the chat. I said, "You guys got to sit here and wait the entire minute that we have select. I know I'm a pick.
yeah.
I'm gonna just leave it
And there
right
was
here."
still two picks before you picked him.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So
I
I
was like,
mean, when you said it, so
it,
you were prompting it.
listen, y'all better not leave me mellow, and they left me mellow. So listen, Melo's home. I'm gonna take care of him. You know what I'm saying? Me and LeBron, we're gonna take care of it. Don't you worry about that. But another comment from Tune what pissed me off. Tibbs playing Rose after he tweaked his knee when Stewart fell into him. Tibbs has to stop while out. That was something that was a little bit weird. I was like, why is he in there? You know what I mean? Like, I mean, I
But
get it, but
we don't know what the
yeah,
conversation was though, because Rose could have
right,
asked to come in,
right,
and
very true,
Tibbs trusts Rose, so he was just like, "Yo, if you want to come in, all right, come in. I
right,
could use you." So
right.
we don't know. We don't know.
Rose looks like he knows his body more than anybody in the
That's
NBA.
right.
You know what I'm saying? I
That's
mean,
right.
outside of Kawhi, clearly, but he looks
Another
like
late pick.
yeah, another late pick. Oh my god! And I was mad because I
I
didn't know he
took
was
him.
sitting there. I was mad because
Oh
I knew
yeah, I
he was
took
sitting
him.
there.
I was like, it's time.
But the
It's
thing is
time.
that only reason why I thought about it. I said I'm not sure how long he's going to be out. It's possible that he can be out until March, and I don't know if I can keep an injury spot on my team that long. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
But
it's a
we'll
risk.
see. We'll see. It's a risk. We'll see how it plays out. Hopefully you drop him, and then I'll snoop him in. You know what I'm saying? Or I could just use that as a mind game, and you can keep him all year, and then that'll just be one spot that you won't be able to pick up. I just have to,
Nah, he
keep
gonna
it.
play. He gonna play.
He gonna play. That's that hope.
He
That's
gonna
that hope.
play.
Yeah. Bring it
Nah,
up.
I know. He's gonna actually give me some wins too. So I
Okay,
ain't even
okay.
worried about it.
I'm a Kawhi fan, so I ain't mad. Um, Xavier Marshall, back to back most improved, or is that not a thing? I'm not sure if it's a thing, if it's possible. I mean, if I think they just give him MVP. If you can get most improved after getting
Oh
most
well,
improved,
yeah,
it's like just give him MVP because
yeah,
he was already getting MVP votes this year. I think he might have got 3 or 4, but still, like you're getting MVP votes and then you're gonna get like and most improved player and then still improve vastly enough to be considered for most improved. It's like yeah, just give him MVP. You know what I'm saying?
yeah. What would he have to do to get most improved again? He would have to score like average 50 points a game.
He'd have to going
That,
from
that, that that's
24.
just
He'd have
ridiculous.
to average,
Yeah,
I'd say 28, 12, and 7. If he went like that, I can see them. All right, well, maybe at that point he might just get MVP. This is what I'm saying. Those are MVP numbers.
yeah,
Those are
exactly.
MVP numbers. There's no point. There's no point. What I do regarding this topic here, I can actually see RJ getting it this year. This way, we got 2 back-to-back most improved things happening there. You don't see that?
Mm-mm. There's no love for Barrett in the NBA.
Well, in that
He's
sense,
he's
I
not gonna get
definitely
anything like
understand.
that. Yeah,
Yeah, in terms of the love he's shown, yeah.
yeah,
I doubt it. He'd have to blow like the socks off of every voter in history
yeah.
in order for him to actually get that. So I agree with you there. I would agree with you there. Um, Lonnie, big point here. Best thing that happened to them was losing the way they did in the playoffs, and I was that actually was something that I was talking about, and after these guys lost was, actually no, actually before the season even started, when people were saying like, the hypotheticals, would you rather a team like this tank or fight as hard as they can and get into the playoffs and then get eliminated in the first round. And there was an argument as to why getting in there and getting eliminated in the first round doesn't help you. And I'm like, how is that even an argument? You know what I mean? Like, there's no way, because in my head, I'm like, how can a team who doesn't know how to make the playoffs, how are they going to get
Mm.
into the playoffs with a bunch of young guys who don't know how to get into the playoffs? You know what I'm saying? I think at some point you have to get there. You know what I mean? Like to learn. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I just think that, great point. The best thing that happened to them was losing the way they did in the playoffs. And I think the guys that lost, especially Julius and RJ, they're not gonna forget that. Like those are the kind of guys that they tuck it under their sleeve and they're like, all right, I'm I'm not
Yeah.
gonna forget
Next
about
time,
this.
watch.
Next time, yeah, watch, just watch. I'm gonna just work so
Yeah.
that doesn't happen
I,
again.
I feel like the coach also he has a lot to prove when it comes to that because literally they were out coached. I mean, it was they came up with a plan for Randall, they executed it, and there was no rebuttal from New York.
Right.
But again, like Xavier said, the pieces around him got better.
Mm-hmm.
So I, and even Clyde was like, yeah, like this year it's going to be a lot harder to stop the Knicks because there's more options,
Right.
which is why all true Knicks fans are very excited about this season.
Exactly.
So yeah,
Exactly. And like you said, he said, watch, they took those losses personal. They have a reason to be back this year. That's gonna make it very interesting. Absolutely. And
oh yeah, oh
everybody
yeah,
else is looking as well. All those other free agents
it's going
who
to be
will be
intense.
be available. They're looking at what this team did. They're looking at the coach because that's what players look for. They don't just look for um a place that has money. And I feel like it's so easy to trap fans when you're a media outlet in that conversation
Hmm.
of who can come to your team in the off season. I mean, if we're talking about the money, yeah, anybody can come to your team in the off season. But are they really
Yeah,
going to go to Milwaukee because Milwaukee has $100 million in their books? No, probably not. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not talking about with Giannis. I'm just saying Milwaukee, just to go to Milwaukee.
period, period.
And that's just how it is. You have to win. I don't care. And we're a big market team, always have been, no matter how good or bad we've played.
Yeah,
And that's never helped us attract free agents. It's more than that. You
it's
gotta
true.
you gotta win games. You got not only you have to win games, you have to show growth year after year. You have to show that your coaching staff knows what the hell they're doing, and we are checking every box so far. You know what I mean? And
So far,
I'm just proud. Um, one more comment here, or a few more. Xavier Martin, hot tub time machine for Taj. Yeah, listen, man, I don't know what's going on with Taj. He's hitting these spin moves. He's getting open. He's hitting threes. It's like I don't know. Him and Derrick Rose like completely revamped their game. Like it's ridiculous. Um,
yeah,
Tune Fournier has to get it going. Yeah, I think it's rhythm. He's a shooter. There's streak players. He's a
yeah.
streak player. There's gonna be games where he has 27, and there's gonna be games like tonight where he has how much did my man Fournier have tonight? Evan Fournier had five,
It's like
five,
6 or 8. Oh
five
yeah.
points. Yeah, he was 2 for 6 from the field. So I mean,
You know who looked lost out there tonight?
who?
Quickly.
Hmm.
It's like he wanted to do, but just didn't didn't know how to do. Like I don't know how to explain it other than
Right,
he he was there, but then it just seemed like nothing he tried worked. He ended
right.
up with what 1 point, and that was off the whistle. What was it?
Quickly had 1 point. Yeah, he was
Yeah.
0 for 5 from the field. He looks lost because I think he's trying to be a point guard. Like he's really, really trying to point guard it
Yes.
instead of looking for his shot. Um, he just has to look for a shot. That's all. Defense was amazing as far as I'm concerned. I like what I'm seeing from him on the defensive end. Um,
Mm.
Quickly is he's definitely improved. He has the size. How what is he? 6'10" wingspan or something like that at the point guard
Oh
position.
yeah.
Like
Wow.
it's the kid has length. You know what I mean? And he moves his feet well. Um, he has all the makings of a good defender at the point guard position. He's tough, tough minded. He'll stand up to anybody, that challenge. He'll take the challenge. But I'm definitely impressed on that aspect. But you got to look for your shot, bro. I know Kemba was out tonight, but
Yeah.
Kemba's gonna look for a shot. You know what I mean? Like you got to find when to be a point guard, and I think that's the kind. That's I don't think he won't be a point guard. I think he has to figure out what kind of point guard he's going to be. And I think once you figure out what kind of point guard you're going to be, then you know Kemba Walker doesn't average. eight, 9 assists a game. Just because you're a point guard doesn't mean you have to average 8, 9 assists a game. Pick your spots. Know when to take good shots. There's going to be games where you don't score 20 points, and you probably didn't score 20 points because you only took 4 or 5 shots. But as long as you took 4 to 5 good shots, you know what I mean, and you made the right play. It's not about always either taking too many shots or as many shots as it takes to get a shot to go in, or trying to play make to the point where you're getting turnovers and you're not even looking for your shot anymore, and you're only taking 6 shots in a game. Um,
Yeah,
I think he's figuring it out. It'll take some time. It's preseason. It's preseason. These are the times to get those
yeah.
games out of your system. Um, but I'm not
Oh
too
yeah,
concerned. I'm not too concerned just yet with quickly, but I do want to see him look for his shot. You know what I mean? And just stick with your shot. And once you start looking for your shot, the assists are gonna come. The playmaking is gonna come because people are gonna start shifting to you because they know you're looking to score.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um. So we spoke about
Let me ask you.
Go ahead, go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say. Let me ask you.
Mhm.
So far in the preseason, we're perfect. W- do you think that will mean anything for the regular season?
Um, Only for our chemistry. I think that's all of these games are for. I think I think it's especially games like this when you don't have Mitch, you don't have Nerlens, you don't have your
Right.
starting point guard, and you still figure it out. And that was my thing. I think a lot of the first 2 quarters they were adjusting. They were like, all right, where are we gonna get our offense? Where are we gonna get our defense? You know what I'm saying? Where because up until this point they've had the offense at least. Taj was there, Jericho was there, but Nerlens and Mitch haven't been there the entire time.
Right.
So I think this was the first time they had to figure it out a little bit on offense and on defense, and it was an adjustment. Like I said, for the first, what was it,
2 quarters.
2 entire quarters? And they still only were down by 4 going into the half. You know what I'm saying? So I think that they figured it out a little bit. Okay, how are we going to patch it up this game? Because they had to patch something up. They figured out the defense. We got to sit Jericho. That was number one. We got to sit Jericho. Um, Jericho, I love him. It's gonna take some time. Like I told Dre, I'm not worried about Jericho. He is literally our fourth center off the bench. He's perfect for what he is. Literally, he's perfect for what he is. Playing backup minutes at this point on this team is all of the experience he needs. It's going to be the best experience he gets for the entire season because you go down to the G League, you can get as many minutes as you can, but it's not going to be
Right.
like playing against the NBA guys. But I'm so excited for the future of him. He will have to develop some kind of sense defensively, um, or something that he can stick to. There's just too many times I see guys get past him and he doesn't have the umph to just go for the
Yeah.
block. I don't
Nothing.
care if you miss the block.
Yeah.
Go for it. I don't want to see you stand there. That's what I don't want to see. And he does that a little bit too much. But he's young. He did play all 4 years, I believe, which everyone is saying is concerning. I just think he needs the right coach. Someone's going to, be able to reach him, to tap into what, because he's an introvert, as you've heard. He's quiet. He stays to himself.
Yeah.
He doesn't really say much to anybody. But it's funny, on the bench I saw him talking to Kemba, and he said something. Kemba said something to him, and he smirked. I'm like, oh, Jericho smiling. Oh shit, there you go.
Uh,
There you
you
go,
you saw him
Jericho.
saying something to Kemba? I saw Kemba talking to him, but
No.
I
That's
didn't
what
see
I'm
him talking
saying.
back.
That's what I was saying.
Oh,
Yeah. I mean, he did say something, but if he responded, it was like one word answers. He was like, yeah, okay, yeah. Like, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't like, hey, I'm saying. But he said something, and then he said
nothing
something to him.
quotable.
Nothing quotable, right. But then whatever he said, he made him laugh and he smirked. And okay, Jericho. But I think that's just what Jericho needs. He needs people to make him feel comfortable, and then he'll listen to whatever the hell you tell him to do. You know what I mean? He's one of those kids that he
True.
doesn't look like he's gonna say, nah, I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna listen, take heed or whatever
Right.
to what you're saying. But like I said the last show, Jericho as the fourth option is perfect. We will not be without Mitch and Nerlens for the entire season. You know what I'm saying? Thank God. Um,
Hopefully.
hopefully. And I mean, even if we do, you see how we're playing with Taj. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? You see how we're playing with, and I'm not gonna lie, Amir Sims stepped in there for Jericho, and he did pretty well at the big position. You know, defensively. So
Defensively, yeah.
defensively, yeah, defensively, he was active. He's a long, tall guy that can play in between positions. You know what I'm saying? He can play in between the 4 and the 5. He can play a big three. You know what I'm saying? But he's someone defensively that you can throw off of one or two guys, and you know that's what they needed
Yeah.
today because that
Yeah,
game would have been
I
a
think
loss.
I think he was kind of a spark before the halftime
Right,
defensively,
right.
because when they came back, they all were like tuned in,
Mm-hmm.
and it was very noticeable. Like
Yeah,
they were playing defense, and he was doing it before like they really got to rally together. So I think it was a good implementation. Is that a word?
yeah.
Implementation
Mm-hmm.
implant for the team to just get them to get back on defense. So
Yeah,
I'll call him the catalyst of the day.
right. Yeah. Jelani is in the chat once again. He said, as long as they stick with their defense first, they will make every game winnable, and that's what he
Yeah.
really meant to say.
I
And
think
another
Randall
comment.
commented on that at post game too.
What their defense first.
Yeah, he was saying that's
Okay.
who they really are, and once they got to that, then that's when they kind of solidified the win. So
Right.
um,
Right.
I like that confidence.
Hmm. And once again, he said, I really hate the concept of not taking shots to take smart shots. Shoot more. Just make sure, and he's talking about quickly, obviously. Shoot more, just make sure they
Mm.
aren't bad shots, but shoot the damn ball as many times as you need. How else do you score, really? Go straight up every time. Follow the rules. But it's basketball, man. Like, we talk about it with quickly a lot in terms of how he goes into this mode where he takes these shots that it's either a three or a layup, or three, or I'm gonna try to draw a foul on the layup. And I think that's something that he really has to get away from. Like I was really looking forward to see him stop for that mid range this year, but I think
Mm.
he just go he's like a bullet out of the pick and roll or out of the crossover. You know what I mean? Like stopping at I feel like stopping at the mid range for him to shoot, he like break his knees or
Oh
something
yeah,
like
it'll
that
free
because it's
him
like
up.
because it's like yo, he's going so fast off of it. Like I
Yeah.
understand why he kind of like goes all the way to the basket sometimes because it's like, bro, I can't stop. You know what I mean? And it looks like that because he throws up these shots and it's like he falls to the ground every time. And there was one time I think in the
Mm.
fourth quarter where I think we had a 8-point lead and he did it, and um it turned into a turnover, and then they went down the court and they scored because he was still on the floor because he tried to throw it up there and he fell, and then now it's a 4-on-2 on the other side of the court. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
I just want to see him do a little bit more, um, because he can open up his 3-point game if he just starts taking middies. You know what I'm saying? That's simple. It's
It's
look
true.
at Devin Booker. People talk about, oh, the mid range is dead and he takes too many mid ranges, and I'm like, listen, to me, that's the shot that opens up everything else. That's just in my opinion. If you're a shooter, especially a scorer like Devin Booker, what he does, he likes to get in there, gets in that elbow, take that quick shot, boom, 2 4 points, and then now you're thinking about me driving and getting around these picks and slithering my way to the elbow once again. And now all I have to do is hezzy, and then that's a wide open three, boom, just like that. Anything like I love the fact that the mid range game has disappeared because now it shows how important it is. Um,
Mm.
but I just think for quickly that'll just open up his game so much. You know what I mean? I think it's like either a three or a contested layup. And I want to just see a little bit more, or at least if you're gonna drive in there that fast, go up for a dunk. Like if you really gonna have to get that contact for that foul. You know what I'm saying? Like this foul trying to throw it up and draw the contact for the layup is not gonna work this year. You know what I'm saying? But Jelani said right once he needs to expand his game. He's fast, but he's got two spots. He's got he's got to shoot more, but take smart shots and be under control. That's the thing with quickly. I think it's control. I think he always has the right idea. He lacks a little bit of control. You know what I'm saying? Which can happen when you're young and talented and you're given the keys at a young age. Um,
Yeah, I
you can
think he
tend to be able
needs Rose on the floor in order to do exactly that. Like I feel
right,
like when Rose is on the floor with him, like he doesn't feel like okay he has to run that point guard position um to what it's supposed to be. He can kind of
mhm,
step into that shooting guard role, and then that's when he'll take those shots. But when he is the point guard, I think he struggles to figure out what his role is in that moment.
right, exactly. And that's I think that's what it'll take him some time. He says that he wants to be a point guard, so cool. Like let's.
Just got to
I'm
figure
that
it out.
we've given like I say all the time. If we're patient with Knox and Lakina and all of these guys, like we can give quickly and Obi and RJ the time that they need. Yeah, I mean, you know what I'm saying? Because at least they've shown that they're not going to be
Oh,
not that you know what I mean.
Obi's balling, son. Obi is
Obi
balling. I I
is
I like his
balling.
game. I
Obi
like
is
his
balling.
game.
I mean, tonight he had it was a little up and down. He had 6 points, 6 points, I believe 4 rebounds, 1 assist, three for 7 from the field. But he's just everywhere. You know what I mean? And
Yeah, I like
he's
what he's
starting to
doing.
he's starting to get a little bit shifty offensively, which is something that boy, if he continues to go upward like that, I think he's really going to be a deadly player. Um,
Oh yeah,
if he continues to in my opinion, just stay behind Julius for a little while. Let him have the heat of being the starter, the pressure of being the starter while you just work at all of those kinks. And just to be
yeah.
honest, they really have similar kind of games. They don't play the same style, but they're I would say that their strengths sort of would be the same at the same point of their careers. You know what I'm saying? Like I could see Obi at 27 years old having the same strengths that Julius Randle has, but just a little bit more athletic. But I think he's just in the right situation. Just stay where you are, learn. You don't have to play a lot of minutes. You see tonight, he did play only 14 minutes. I think a lot of that had to do with how many fouls did he have? I don't think he had any fouls. Maybe one foul. Let me double check that real quick. His fouls he had. Obi Toppin at 0 fouls. I just think he was getting. I don't know what it was. He was -11 on a plus minus. So I think it had to be on the defensive end. He might have missed some assignments here or there, because there should be no reason why he played 14 minutes and he was -11. So something was off. But from what I don't remember him playing that bad for those minutes, which is odd.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? I remember good stuff from Obi, but stats say otherwise. Which is why you don't always got to go um, by the numbers and what the gameplay says. But what did you see from Obi that that you liked? You said that Obi's he's balling.
yeah. He's balling. Like I just saw that he's not. You can't tell that he's thinking. It looks like he's just reacting. And I
Right.
saw like a quick turnaround in the post that he missed a shot, but it was a good shot. It just
Hmm.
maybe he put a little bit too much on it. So I was just like, yeah, I like that.
Yeah,
And
it was quick
the
too. I
fact
remember
that he
another
was
one he
running
pulled.
gun, yeah, I was just like, all right, that's what he needs to do. Like he knew who he had on him. He
Right.
wasn't gonna hold the ball, let them set up the defense. I'm gonna move quick, catch him off balance. I'm gonna hit this shot. He missed, but I could see how that easily could be a made shot, and
Mhm.
how they would have to guard him a little bit differently in the post. And then I just feel like he'll switch it up there too. I like when Obi and Quickly run together. I don't think tonight was like their best pair up, but when they play together, like they're in sync. It's like they read each other's minds, and I'm
Mm.
looking for that during the regular season.
I
But
think I,
Obi, it wasn't his best game, but he has improved, and I like what I see.
I think going back to the same thing with RJ, I think a lot of it was adjustments. Obi and Quickly having to play different roles, kind of, especially Quickly being the first guy off the bench at the point guard position instead of at the two next to alongside Rose, because Obi is usually he's used to having those two guys out there at the guard, and primarily he ran a lot of
Hmm.
Burks out there, which he had a good game tonight. Burks was great out there. He said 12 points on 5 of 11 shooting, but he looked a lot better out there than the numbers say. Saw him
Yeah,
out there making a lot of crucial threes and getting in the lane and getting some steals. So I'm definitely on the Frank pause.
yeah.
I'm
Whoa.
definitely on the word. I'm definitely on the Burks train. But yeah,
I didn't like that foul that he gave. Like when
yeah, the
he
trip.
tripped Diallo. I didn't
Yeah,
like that. I thought that was
yeah,
poor sportsmanship. I expected
yeah.
better from him.
Right, yeah, yeah. And it's a natural reaction. As a bowler, I completely. There's been plenty of times I've wanted to trip guys
But you
every
can't do
single
that,
time,
man. You
but
can't
you
do
just
that.
can't
You're
do
gonna
it.
get
You
caught.
can't do it. Yeah, you're
It
always
hurts
gonna
the
get caught.
team.
There's no way you can say, "Yo, I was an accident." Yo, like I didn't mean to lift my foot as he was running past me. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on,
Yeah.
bro. Like, what are you doing?
And, and what did it cost the team? They got two shots and the ball back.
And the ball
Like
back.
that could have been the game. You know what I mean? So
Hmm.
I didn't like
Hmm.
that.
Yeah, that was bad.
I thought that was cheap. I thought he
Um,
was above that.
I mean, it was Diallo. Hamadou Diallo taking it. And I kind of was okay with that because he was a little off tonight. It was to the point where they were leaving him open in the corner, and I was like, damn, like
Mm.
that's kind of disrespectful. But yeah, I'd have to fight if he was on the court. You started doing that to me. But Derrick Rose was the only other person that we didn't get to really talk about tonight. Shout out to him on getting engaged. He got engaged on the
Mm.
garden floor apparently last night. So shout out to Derrick Rose and joining the soon to be married crew. Um,
Yeah.
but Derrick Rose, 30 minutes. Don't want to see it.
Yeah.
You don't want to see it. And I mean a lot of those was in the
Well,
fourth
Kimba
quarter.
wasn't playing tonight though, so
Kemba wasn't playing, right? And I guarantee you Derrick Rose is not playing on Friday. Promise you he's not playing. Kemba will be
nah,
playing.
he's
Derrick
playing.
Rose is not playing. He's not playing. Promise you.
He's gonna play.
I pro-
He's gonna
First of all,
play.
between that knee tweak and the ankle tweak from last game, and then the fact that Kemba already had a game off. Come on, like
Yeah.
Derrick Rose, like, yo, bro,
He's gonna get at
give me
least
mine.
10 minutes. I know
Give
it.
me
I
mine.
know it.
Nah. He's promise you, Derrick Rose is not playing next game. It is a preseason game.
All right.
It's the last one at that.
Yeah.
Derrick Rose is not playing. And like you said, if he
He
does
wants to
play,
get
he's
some
not playing
reps
more
in.
than 10 minutes.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
don't
10
know.
minutes.
I don't know.
Because you're gonna have
There's
Kemba
no
back,
way
and
if
you got
Derrick Rose is
quickly. Yeah.
no way Derrick Rose is active. Tibbs is playing in 10 minutes. It's not playing. It's not happening. I just don't see it happening. Derrick Rose and Tibbs. Tibbs is somebody's gonna piss Tibbs off, and Tibbs gonna look down the bench, and you already know who's gonna look at. He's gonna look straight at Derrick every
I'm
single time.
gonna go
Derrick.
to the guys I trust. Yeah.
And speaking of, he looked into quickly tonight. I think quickly.
Oh yeah.
I think there was a timeout. He wanted to call a timeout
Yep.
and quickly tried to
He was in
continue
his
to
ear.
play. He was like,
No. He was upset for two reasons then. Because he called timeout and the referees didn't hear him.
right,
So
yeah,
then he started screaming, right? But I think also quickly was supposed to be like, all right, I heard you, so let me. But he kept the ball in
yeah,
play. So,
because
but he was in his ear for that.
quickly tried to do the thing where how you run to the sideline a little bit, but you keep going, like what I mean, to catch him off guard
Yeah,
and get a quick play out of it. He tried to do that in a sense, but then the play never really broke down. So and Tibbs is
yeah,
like at this point, like, yo, bro, like, what are you doing? Like, I called timeout, and then I was looking, I'm like, is he yelling at the ref? And
It looked like it.
as everybody's walking
Yeah.
back, like he gets to Quickly and he's yelling and Quickly just goes straight to the
Yeah.
bench
Right
and
in
he's
his
checking up.
ear.
I was
Yep.
like, you bugging,
Yeah.
bro. And I don't know if it was for that or if it was for the play before. Maybe it was a defensive assignment that Quickly missed. That's
Mm.
possibly what happened. If that's what it is, then I mean, don't shoot me. But he, for whatever reason, he lit into Quickly, and I love the fact that
Yeah.
he has that relationship with these guys, and it doesn't affect them that much.
Right.
And they can still be productive.
Yeah.
So like I said, Derrick Rose, 14 points. I believe is that five? When this category thing begin disappearing while I'm trying to,
Uh,
on here.
which ones
Okay,
you
so
looking for?
right here. Yeah, so Derrick Rose had, yes, there you go. 14 points, two
14
steals,
points. It's
five
average.
assists, two rebounds. Like what more can you ask for? 2 for 3 from the 3-point line. We're talking about Derrick Rose. One of them is a line drive. Another one's from the, I think it was, the extended elbow at 3-point line. And the guy's just, he's smooth. He's out there he's taking it to play by play. He's getting hurt,
Yeah.
still going out there and playing. You gotta love what he brings in terms of how he coaches these guys. You saw after the game, even a lot of the Pistons players are still, just showing him mad love because Derrick Rose is just a dope dude. You know what I mean? Especially on this end of his
Yeah.
career, he's a little bit more relatable in terms of he'll actually talk to you. You know what I mean? Because I guess he realizes he has a little responsibility. But how about you? What you see from D Rose?
I mean, he did what he was supposed to do.
Hmm.
14 points was the average that we were expecting from him. Whenever he does more, it's great, but
Yeah.
he got the 14. I feel like he he wants to do more off the court than he wants to do on the court. Like I think they were interviewing him, and he said he feels like he has that responsibility. So, I
Right.
mean, I love what he brings to the team, both on the court and off the court. So you'll hear nothing bad from me from Derrick Rose.
Yeah, I feel like it's almost bad luck if you talk bad about Derrick Rose. You know what I'm saying?
And
Like you,
I'm happy with him.
yeah, I'm cool with Derrick Rose. But yeah, man, he's just the right fit. You talk so many. We've always talked about his relationship with Taj
Tips.
and
Oh yeah.
Tibbs, and just the family dynamic. But it's starting to extend toward the young guys now, and a lot of these guys literally grew up with Derrick Rose posters in their room. You know what I'm saying? It's
How
kind of
crazy is that?
it's crazy. You know what I mean? And that's, to me, that just is so dope because you got guys that are on his team looking up to him, and he's actually giving them words of wisdom. Like, and this is the guy I had a
Word.
poster of. He's talking to me like this. The guy that was on the wall is talking to me right now. You know what I mean? It's kind of crazy. It's just crazy. But that's just a game of basketball, man, and passing down the things that you've been taught. And a lot of guys age well like that. A lot of guys don't. A lot of guys are selfish with what they've learned, and it shows in other ways. But guys like Derrick Rose, Taj, very personable. I think they asked Taj something after the game and why he's been doing so well. He said, I don't know what it is. He said maybe it's the bacon, egg, and cheeses every morning. You know what I'm saying? It's like
From the
you got
bodega.
you're from the bodega, and like you gotta love that. You gotta love the brand. You know what I'm saying? So Taj is my guy. Derek is my guy. They're bringing it,
Yeah.
the vet energy that you need to this team. It's
Word.
it's the right guys that are receiving it and putting it back out there for even guys younger than them. OB and Quickly out there being the second year guys, still teaching guys younger than them as if they're
Yeah.
vets. So you just gotta love the environment, the culture that's been built in our four walls. And it's weird because we're talking about the Knicks still. It's people haven't said James Dolan in a long time.
I was just thinking that, man. I was just thinking that.
People haven't said his
I
name in a
was,
long, long time, and that's how it should be. That's how it should be, man.
exactly.
Y- You know, and to be honest, he's probably out there doing the same things he was doing when people were pissed about him. But that we're winning, we're doing well.
That's
You
right.
can't really say much.
That's all fans wants to see. Yeah.
That's all the fans want to see the direction is heading in the right way. Any final words for you? You got anything you want to drop on us before we leave?
Did, no, I mean, did you want to talk about the officials or leave that and just say whatever? Because you know why I asked that? Because I feel like both teams were complaining.
Hmm.
I feel like initially it was the Knicks not getting any calls, and then after a while it just seemed like neither team was getting calls. So I
Right.
felt like on a lot of plays they were kind of just letting them play,
Hmm.
and I like that sometimes, but I just feel like when players start to complain like that, the game kind of drags on. So I'm like, maybe they should just call the calls the way they see it, if they see it, and then let the game be played like that. But well, I don't know. What do you think?
I think I think the name of this episode should be adjustment. I think it's an adjustment, man. These guys are the referees have made a serious effort at not calling BS calls anymore, and
Mm,
players just aren't receiving it yet. And I've been seeing it. I've seen it in every single game, and it's kind of like,
mm,
okay, are we headed back in this direction? Because if it's what I'm seeing is how it's going to be way more entertaining. And that's just me
yeah,
because now it's okay. I didn't get bailed out by the whistle because what I'm saying, I didn't get bailed out by the whistle. Now I look stupid. Now I got to go back another end and foul the guy. But you saw that a lot
yeah,
tonight. You saw that a lot tonight with
yeah. Couple
Randall and
times,
and
yeah,
Jeremy Grant. These guys are going back and forth at each other because they're not getting fouls called. And they're like, okay, this you're not gonna call it then? Oh, we're not. That's the game we're playing. Okay, cool. And that's what basketball is. That's what we grew up
yeah,
on. You know what I'm saying? Stop, get off the whistle, ref. Like, you know what I mean? Let these guys play. And if that's what it is, that's what it's gonna be. I'm excited. I like that kind of basketball. It's gritty. If it's New York, if anything, you know what I'm saying? That's what we're used to. But yeah, these guys are gonna complain this year. They're going to complain. There's gonna be a
yeah.
lot of complaining. Um,
I
Quickly's
hate
not
it.
gonna get those fouls. Trey's not gonna
Good,
get those fouls.
even better.
Steph ain't gonna get those fouls. The
Steph is
game.
gonna get those fouls.
I don't know how he's not going.
Steph is gonna get those fouls, man.
I don't know how he's going.
Steph is gonna
He's
get
going to
those
get them.
fouls.
He's going to get those fouls. But
He's
I
gonna get
mean,
them. I think he earned them.
but it's
He's gonna
Steph.
get them.
It's Steph though. I mean,
Yeah,
they're not
exactly.
gonna call all of them. They're gonna make an example out of Steph. That's why they did that first one of Steph. When he head faked and he like jumped into him. At first of all, that was a little bit belligerent anyway. Like to jump into the guy. Like I forgot
Yeah,
when we
I hate
started
that.
allowing that into the league because
I hated
you
it from
could
the
never
beginning.
do it before. There was a time where it was you could not launch into the guy, and then all of a sudden that was something everyone was doing. And I'm like, when
Yeah, and I thought the rule was whoever initiates the contact
the
that
foul should be
it
called on.
determines what the foul. Right. So, but when I see them jumping into the defender, I'm like, how is that a foul on a defender? If they
Thank you.
go straight up and you jump into me, how are you going to call a foul on me? Like I
Yeah,
just hate that.
it's
I
it's
hate
it's
it.
it's a
So
bad
I'm glad they're not calling that anymore.
it's a bad pardon the hum. I had to charge my laptop, and it's the sound it makes. But it's just a bad. Like I said, it's an adjustment. It's stupid that these guys have let it go this far. That
Exactly.
now you have to completely stop blowing the whistle almost. You know what I mean? Like I'm watching these games and they're going up and down 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 times before there's a whistle. And I'm like, yo, and every single time it happens and somebody goes up for a layup and they don't get the call, they coming down the other side and they fouling. And it's not a
Hmm.
call because a lot of times players have adjusted to just going up expecting contact and they practice that way to the point where you lay the ball up a certain way because you're kind of expecting the contact. So and I think
Right.
that's the same thing that I'm seeing with Quickly. And I'm like, listen, you can't expect that contact anymore. Just you have to finish. Just finish. They're not gonna call it. You can't put the game in the ref's hands. I've always, all of the coaches I've ever played for in park leagues, rec leagues, anything. Don't put the game in the ref's hands, because if you keep looking for the foul and you mad because you didn't get the foul, you not only did you not get the foul, now you're arguing with the ref, and now your team is down court, and it's 5-on-4, and now your team got scored on.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So stop
Exactly.
expecting that foul, and that's something that in the first year I could not stand with Julius, because every single game he
Every
was like,
play.
every play he was like at the
Yeah.
ref's neck, and it's like, bro, come on, bro. Like, we get it. Like, I know you got fouled, you did get fouled, cool, but complaining is not going to change anything. Like, they've already blown
Word.
the whistle. They've blown it. It's
That's
gone.
right.
It's gone. It's gone. Literally. But hopefully that's something that we won't have to deal with. One thing I do want to touch on for a quick second, before you get out of here, is the Kyrie Irving situation. Um,
Mm.
they're not allowing him to practice with the team until he's vaccinated, and I mean, like, that he can't even practice with the team. I know there's sides to it that people don't want to agree on. I don't agree that they shouldn't let him practice, but then again, logically, if you have to be vaccinated to play at any one of their facilities, then he can't practice. Like, that's it's not them
Mm.
telling him he can't practice. It's, yo, listen, bro, it's a vaccinated facility. If you're not vaccinated, you can't go. Um, but now progressively, I guess there's been more that came out, and now they're saying apparently they're not going to extend Kyrie. So
Mm.
I think that's something that no one really thought was going to happen. I know KD didn't think that was gonna happen when he signed over there with them. Um, but yeah, you got anything you wanna throw in there?
I mean, it, the situation is like this. If there's a girl you like
Uh-huh.
and you ask her out and she's just like, all right, I'll go out with you. And every single time y'all plan a date, she don't show up. After a while, you're gonna stop asking her
Yeah.
out on a date. You're not gonna expect to go out with her ever.
Hmm.
And I think that's where they are with Kyrie right now. I think they gave him enough rope, and he took all of it, and then it's like, all right, we got no more to give you.
He's hung
So
himself.
now you have to start giving in order for, you know what I mean. So
Mhm.
I mean, I'm glad, and I think we say this almost every show now. I'm glad we didn't get him. I'm
Glad we
glad
did.
we didn't get him. Who wants that headache?
Mm. And I mean,
Like, what
as
a waste of talent.
especially knowing that we're a team that was like, weren't we like the first fully vaccinated team, or one of them?
The Knicks, really? I don't even know.
I
Probably
think, yeah,
because I
I think we,
mean, New York had it mandated for a little while.
yeah, I think they were one of the first teams to be fully vaccinated, and there's no way he would have been on the squad and playing right now if that was the case. So and there's just there's just a certain way that you handle things. I don't wish
Yeah,
anything bad on anyone, but even on KD, I feel bad for him, because it's like, that's not what you expected. That's not, you
yeah.
thinking about the basketball side of things. You never thought about the outside stuff and how that would affect
But
basketball.
but let's be realistic. Kyrie contracted this virus already.
Right.
He of all people should be more aware of the dangers of this virus because he experienced it, and he's acting as if this vaccination is worse than the disease. And I don't want to get into the politics of it, but I'm just
Right.
saying
I
someone who
understand.
experienced something should have more of a
Respect.
stance on, you know, like this is something that is real and it's not made up. You experienced it, so like, come on, man. Like,
Yeah.
you gotta do a better job.
Um,
So
this, like like you said, you don't want to get into the politics of it. There's so many sides where there's a lot of sides where I do agree with Kyrie, and that's why I just think, like, listen, if it's all right, well, sever ties. Just that simple. You don't want to get vaccinated. I agree with you. Cool.
yeah,
You just don't play basketball
but don't
anymore.
expect to play back. Exactly, don't expect to play. Like,
That's
this is part of what is needed. So you
simple as
don't want to
that.
get it. Like, I think everybody will respect that. Look, I work in the healthcare field, And my organization, they gave everyone a deadline. They said by this date, if you don't have the vaccination, we're not going to be allowed to have you come into the building. So some people decided to get the vaccination off of that, and some people decided to leave.
Hmm.
No gun to their head. You were giving an option. You made your decision. Kyrie has made his decision.
Yeah.
So without the vaccination, you can't play ball. So I really don't see where the issue is. That's just how
That's
I feel. So
that's like, someone working in your field, say they're a doctor and they don't want to get vaccinated, and it's like, listen, you can only come into the building when we're operating on someone who's not vaccinated. You know what I'm saying? It's like, all right,
hmm,
we're really gonna go through all of this. You know what I'm saying? And
yeah,
oh yeah, this dude's vaccinated. Oh, so Doctor So and So could have came in today. That's just too much work. You know what I'm saying? Like
yeah,
it's way too much work. I get it, but like I said, it's there's a lot on both sides. Um, it's another podcast, it's another show. Just glad that's not the Knicks, as we always
yeah.
say at the end of our
We
show.
don't
As
need
long
that.
as it's not the Knicks. But that's all we got. Clearly, because we're no longer talking about the Knicks. That is usually when you can tell the show is over. But stay tuned. We have some more coming. I believe we have another game on Friday versus the Washington Wizards.
Friday, I think so.
Yeah,
Yeah.
versus the Washington Wizards, which is the game that Derrick Rose will not be playing. I promise you that. Um,
That's our last game. So, I want to be perfect in the preseason just so that we have that. I don't know. It just means
Trust me, Tibbs wants to
undefeated
win.
sounds real nice.
Tibbs wants to win everything too. So I'm sure because you didn't. See, I only think we saw. Did Grimes get out there today? I don't think Grimes
Yeah.
played.
No, no, not Grimes. McBride got out there for the
Bragg played.
last minute and a half. Yeah.
No, actually, they both were out there for the same amount of time. Oh shit!
He got
No,
time?
yeah,
I
they
don't remember
both.
seeing him. I just remember McBride. He kind of gave the ball away, and then
That
Quentin
was
Grimes. He was there less than a minute. So
yeah. They both. I think they both played. It
oh
says they
yeah,
both played 59 seconds. Oh, well, okay.
and then they
Well,
both he got a turnover.
got a
That's the only
turnover.
stat. All
Oh,
right,
that sucks.
great. Negative
Well,
8 off of that.
well, listen.
That sucks.
Knicks get the victory. We beat the Pistons 108 to 100. Um, we got some more, like I said, coming up. We have another show. Hopefully, we might have one
Friday.
Friday night after the game. Maybe Dre will be able to make that. Dre's working nights, by the way, so he's going to try to figure something out. Um, but as far as that, we may have a guest on the show this weekend. So just stay tuned. Once again, to the Garb Knicks podcast slash show, whatever it is. I'm your host, Apollo Reed. This is my cousin Rick the Ruler, and we are the Garb Knicks podcast for today. But y'all have a good one, man. Until next time, peace.